Welcome to Smutty Scriptures, the podcast where three best friends gather together to explore the holy texts of fantasy romance novels. I'm Head Priest Blue Cromwell, and I'm joined by my sisters in Sid, Cuddlefish and Purple Space Cat, to tell you all about our thoughts on this episode's sacred text. We are in the third book of the Throne of Glass series called Heir of Fire, and we have read from 1 to the end of 34. Very excited. Purple is shaking her head very enthusiastically. If you've been following along with us, you know the bit, but I've made them proud today. But yeah, so we are about halfway through. I know last episode I mentioned we'd probably do like up to chapter 15 or so. We decided to get through these ones a little bit quicker, so we ended up just basically splitting this one even in half. It was like 68 chapters, so we did about, until the end of 34 or whatnot. So a lot of content to dive into it. Yeah, we definitely lied. Sorry for gaslighting the audience. But here we are. But yeah, I know we're really excited to talk about it. There's a lot to go into this. I think we have some different and intense opinions about this. I'm really excited to jump on into it. What are your guys' general impressions? Third book. People say it's better than the first two. Do we like it? Do we not?
I have some very strong opinions about this book.
Go on.
That we'll get to later on. That we might fight a little.
That's okay. As long as we come back together in the end, that's all right.
I think this is probably the most ACOTAR-like book so far. So we had mentioned before when we were reading Throne of Glass that I was struggling to get through it because it just didn't. We read ACOTAR first, and then we came to this after, and it was just really difficult to transition from ACOTAR to this.
Absolutely.
And I feel like this one, when I'm reading it, it doesn't feel like a Throne of Glass did, and like the first two, which were just a drug on, and I was so disinterested. But it was just you gotta see it through, my boy.
Gotta see it through, my boy.
But it reads and feels more like the mature ACOTAR that we're used to.
Yeah.
And that very well may be because we're introduced to more settings, more fae, more magic, more wilderness monsters, more political stuff, and more big picture things, as opposed to, oh my god, I don't know, which one do I want? I don't know. Oh my god, is it Kale or is it Dorian? I don't know. Like, which toxic romance do I want? So
to be clear, though, the characters have not matured.
No, I think they've gone backwards, but we'll dive into that. We'll dive into that later.
The writing has matured.
Yeah. I completely agree. I'm really liking the writing, at least like the plot. I feel like we're really expanding in the really cool ways. I know we had to struggle a little bit through, the first, and I would say it picked up a little bit in the second, but it was still tough. Crown of Midnight was still a little bit tough. But overall, right now, I am loving it. Like, I'm breezing through it, having a good time. I'm loving all the different places the story's taking us. I almost get it's funny that you say ACOTAR vibes. I could definitely see that. Obviously, same author, Sarah J. Maas. So it makes sense. It makes sense.
We are masochists.
It's true. I almost got like a Game of Thrones vibe. How political it's getting, and I think the levels of where they're going to with certain characters and the different perspectives and different things happening there. But we're getting into some really like dark things in different cultures, and it's just a much more diverse book and plot and world setting than what I've seen before, and it reminds me of early Game of Thrones, like going back and forth through different
it's not dual POV, it's more like dual timelines, or in this case triple timelines.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or quadruple if you want to count Kale and Dorian separate.
My takeaway, my general impression is that this book is very, very, very broody and very screamy. Everybody is feeling a lot of things really strongly all the time. And it makes me just want to be like, Sarah, are you good? Do I need to call somebody for you?
The answer is no.
Yeah. Everybody's cold.
They're all cold all the time. But they don't, there's a lot of screaming, but they still don't ever fucking communicate.
No, too busy screaming.
But you know what we did have?
Dear God, you people.
What's that?
We had the return of arts and crafts time. Woo!
Yeah,
we did. Yes.
I bookmarked that. I was like, oh my God, Selena.
And she was comforted by her arts and crafts.
Oh my God.
She was so pleased with herself.
She loved it. Goofies.
Oh my
I
God.
love a return to the DIY.
See, she went back to old habits, and it made her feel more like herself when she was happier.
Yeah, good
See,
for her.
Where's this growth coming in? Because I just don't.
Maybe later. Wait,
We don't need it.
200 pages ish.
Oh, so was that your favorite part, Cuddle? Your favorite part or scene?
I'm gonna go with no. I think honestly the plot line that I'm loving the most is Manon Blackbeak.
Okay, first of all, we are not saying Manon no matter what Sarah says. It is Manon and no one can tell me otherwise.
For those of you at home or wherever you are out there in the great wide world, we did actually have to watch a YouTube video of Sarah explaining and pronunciating the characters' names. And come to find out, most of ours are wrong.
No, Sarah's
That's
wrong.
okay.
Manon?
You're both wrong. You're both wrong. The entire time I was reading it, it was Manon.
Nice.
But I cannot tell you how much I was like, fuck yes, when we gave, I forgot the name of her little dragon boy.
Abraxas.
Abraxas. We gave him iron fangs and like, I was like, yeah, I mean, ow, but like, oh, yes. Like, I thought it was pretty cool.
That was my pick this time too. I was so, oh my God. As soon as they brought out the whole idea of they're tempting these wyverns, whatever you want to say, Sarah would probably pull something out of her ass for no reason about how that's supposed to be said.
Wyvern.
Well, are they weird keys or not, Sarah? Like, what's happening? But anyway, the big flying boys, once they introduced this idea of the training pits and the bait beasts, I wanted so badly. I was sitting there and I was like, Blue, don't get your heart broken here. They're probably not going to save the bait beast. Like, that's probably not what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, so much focus on this one named Titus. Like, so much focus on that and where that could go. But I fucking loved it. I was sitting there and I was just like, please. I was so, like, I had to, like, got my hopes up and I put them back down again because I was like, there's no way. Sarah, and then she pulled it off. She pulled off this wonderful scene of their connection and all this, and then flying together and her having that one moment in the air where no one was around her, so she decided to express emotion for one moment. Oh my God, I loved it, dude. It's such a badass form of like the boy and his dog story. And I'm really here for it, you know? Like that scene filled me with so much, like, one, the idea of flying is fucking incredible, but I just loved that, the connection they have, so that, I 100% feel the same. But in my head, it is Manon, even though Sarah would disagree.
Just in general, like, she's just a badass fucking character.
Yeah. And she's hot.
Like, when she was like, I punished them, 3 unblocked blows, 1 to the gut, they could feel powerless, 1 to the ribs, so they would consider their actions every time they breathed.
Queen.
And then 1 to the face, so her broken nose would remind her that her punishment could have been far worse. That's page 89, chapter 12. That is like, I read that, I was like, God damn.
Mm-hmm.
I could think of a few people that could use that kind of treatment.
I was like,
well, maybe
shit,
she'll be the one to give it to him.
I gotta tell this one to
lose my job.
Well, I was gonna say I have to email that one or text it to my husband. We started implementing that in my household. Come here, honey.
You remember the rules. 3.
That's for not taking out the trash.
I love that phenomenon is very. It gives me adult How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. Very on
You know,
brand.
much bloodier. It's like if HBO made How to Train Your Dragon. That's what it would be like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you probably also have more boobs. But
yeah, I could do with a little bit more of those. Okay, Sarah, take your time.
There's not been any spice that I recall.
Well,
I mean, there was some weird
When he bit her.
Drugs. But I don't know that's spicy.
Blue's like, I like the biting.
Kind of like that weird animalistic shit that was happening for a minute there. Ha ha ha. Just kidding.
I think my favorite scene or part was the fact that there was included a gay demi-fae couple.
Oh my
I was
God,
like,
yes.
I
love
love
that.
it.
And he knew her mom?
Yeah.
Bitch, what the fuck?
I was
It was
like
so
very
good.
squee. Very squee. And then they not really, but kind of adopted Luca. And they have their own little family. And I was like, I want a book about that. Like, fuck everything else that we've got so far. I feel that we should just scrap Throne of Glass altogether. And then we should just completely redo all of it. Just focusing on them. Fuck everybody else. I don't even care about Selena Gomez anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I want a 2-part book. Half of it about their little gay demi-fae couple with the adopted Luca and him being an adorable little cutie pie. And then I also want the other half of the book to be the Monononon lady in her How to Train a Dragon. I just, we can even separate that in just 2 different series and I'd be done. Like, fuck Selena Gomez. I need more Abraxas sniffing the flowers.
Yeah, oh my God, a baby.
Oh, I
sweet
loved
baby.
that.
The sweetest boy.
Just like, oh my God. He's like the puppy. If anything happens to that giant sky puppy, I will be very put out. Abraxas with the flowers. I was like, dear God.
Yeah, he just discovered flowers and he's like, these are great.
I love these.
Absolutely can love flowers. And
Yeah.
I was like, you go off, King.
Love that for him. I feel you though about this not liking Selena very much kind of mode in this book. I'm hoping it'll turn around. We never know. But my least favorite scene, which is pretty early on. I was like, Selena, please, bro, you have to stop. This is page 62, which is a part of chapter 8. So pretty early on. Oh my God, Selena, how dare you? Fae like you make me understand the King of Adeline's actions a bit more, I think.
Ouch.
You just told him that he was so much of an asshole that you're like, you know what? I get why your people are genocided. But what the fuck? Selena! And then I love this. Faster than she could sense, faster than anything has a right to be, he punched her right in the fucking nose. As he should, because what the fuck? Selena!
Yeah.
Selena, you're also Fae! Don't do this!
That's giving very yay Hitler.
Bro! It literally is like, it's the worst thing she could possibly say to him. I know she's just trying to dig for anything, that could just hurt him and blah, blah, blah this. But, fucking grow up. Grow up. You agreed to be here. And you're going to be, mean to this guy? And not about his entire... both of you are Fae. This is also your problem. This has been your problem for 10 years.
It's giving very pre-Silver Flames Nesta.
Yeah. It is. It really
yeah.
is. And especially with
Really
how Rowan and them
fucking annoying.
talk to each other. Oh my God. It is gonna be either the worst thing ever or the best enemies to lovers switch I've ever seen in my life.
I think we're gonna go enemies to lovers. I really do.
No,
Please.
I
But
don't
they're
think
related.
we will.
They're related though.
Well,
I do have a thought.
So is Prince Douchebag.
I know, but y'all hated
He
when I pointed
reclaimed
that out.
that title, by the way. He is now Prince Douchebag
You don't love
again.
him as Sorsha? You don't love
Yes,
that?
No, because he fucking did a 180 on what he wanted in a lady. Because he's all like, I want a lady that will stand up to me and be all like my match in all of the things. And then he's like, nope, I want the super meek, mousy lady who can't even look me in the eye, let alone pay attention to me and have a conversation. I was like, dear God, you never deserved Selena Gomez. Get the fuck out. Just fucking leave. I don't care that it's a rebound. You and Healer Lady, Control Alt Delete, Shift F4.
Well,
just get the fuck out.
I gotta tell you, I had some pretty strong feelings
about the social thing, or
I had some pretty strong feelings about a different part.
What's
gonna be surprising, I think. Chapter 26, page 214. Where's the bottom? The scent was still clinging to the entire apartment. Belonged to a woman, so similar to what he remembered from childhood, but wrapped in mystery and secret smiles. Bro was like, smells like woman. What the fuck, bro?
Okay, he has a predator's senses, to be fair, but I get it.
And he's like, oh my God, sniff, sniff, woman? Like,
maybe it's like their
Her
version of
secret
Axe body
smiles.
spray.
smells.
It smells. It just really
like
smell that smells
smelly.
smelly.
I can smell the estrogen.
Yeah.
I
Sit
can
down.
smell-
Like, bro, that's so weird, dude. Like,
Yeah, the obsession is it's a little much. I mean, I like it, but it's a little much.
okay, but
I think
that
they
was
belong
weird.
together.
Okay, so about
They're
that
very
thought,
related. They're way
I-
more related than Rowan and her.
I think that they gave us some clues to that. If you turn in your holy text, page 244,
Oh yeah, I was gonna mention that.
chapter
28.
28, she says, it was their bond marked by blood and scent, smells like woman, and something else she couldn't place, a tether as strong as the one that bound her to her parents. Stronger in some ways.
Yeah, I would not have thought anything about it until they added the stronger in some ways. What do you mean by that? Hold on.
That's your fucking cousin.
Selena, date someone who's not related to you challenge.
Please.
Impossible.
Hold on. Now, I mentioned this in my notes of what I wanted to bring up because Sarah does like to do that. Yes, fated mates, and she describes it as a tether. Yes. However, we have seen in previous books, Sarah already said that there was a tether between her and Carol.
And Dorian at one point
Dorian.
too.
So I'm thinking, listen, Linda,
I'm with you.
listen. I'm thinking that maybe this was like Sarah before she like cemented that idea. So this is really just like more of like a string of fate.
Or one mate per name.
Listen,
She's
Oh,
Selena.
one per king.
She's
We got
Aileen.
primal kink. We got the feet kink. We got
Each different personalities, so they need different mates, obviously.
forgot
And-
about the feet.
Strangely into
yep,
it.
those grippers.
Yeah, she loves them. She said, "Don't put those away."
And then I guess her kink for Carol is just not communicating.
I thought Kale was the one that liked the feet.
No, that was Dorian.
Yeah.
Because it was it was oddly intimate.
Oh,
when he
yeah,
got out of the.
Yeah, that was after the Kale breakup, so she was on the rebound.
Listen, I just think that what we're doing is this is just an 8-book long wide choose. And Lena's just like, date the world? Yes, that's what I intend to do. Date
Amen.
everyone. I mean, she is hardcore. What do you call it whenever someone dies and you're sad about it? Grieving.
Wow. Good
Hardcore.
job.
Words are hard, okay?
Same.
Hardcore
Me.
grieving over Nehemia, like she lost her true love or some shit. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my God, she wasn't even that into you. Get over it.
Funny you should
And-
mention that too. She mentions several times about how she is sad that her perfect body is gone.
Gay. I see gay, I said gay. And I wanted them together from the very beginning. It's almost Pride Month. Sarah, give me
Oh
something.
my God, it is.
Yeah,
Well,
give me
hey, you
something.
already have the
That's true.
you know,
I
the
do
gay
have the
couple
gay
with their
thing.
adoptive family that needs its own spin-off series.
I do love them. But I was really rooting for like a Nehemia kind of moment. But
Okay,
I think that's just me.
here's what it is. Nehemia didn't die. She went to one of the other planes, and she's gonna end up hooking up with more. That's it.
The doorknob?
More?
More.
Oh,
M-O-R,
Mort. I
not
thought you said. I was like,
M-O-R-T.
no, not Mort. Bro,
Yeah, that's it.
please.
That doorknob, what it do?
She slob on that
Perfect.
knob. Am I right?
It's the perfect cover up for an abusive relationship. Oh, I
Okay.
just ran into a door.
Bro, okay, yeah, more makes a lot more
that's-
sense. I definitely thought you meant Mort, so that's on me.
Wow.
But no, Mort's supposed to be with Emery or whatever.
Oh yeah. Well, it's a threesome. It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Moore's not against it, so fuck it. Literally. Did you guys find anything surprising? I mean, I had one minor fucking thing that I keep running into, Sarah. Keep running into. I mean, there's stuff that's generally like surprising. Like I love like how much I didn't think we were gonna get so much witch content and witch lore. I did not expect that at all, but I'm in love with it. But did you guys notice that Selena got another name?
Was it bitch? Because I don't think that counts.
Okay, first of all, yes, but actually in that same chapter that you were referencing just a little bit earlier.
All of them? 1 through 3.
Listen, chapter 28, but this is page 241. Her mother had called her Fireheart.
Oh,
you bitch! The sixth name? Is this the sixth one? I can't, Sarah, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep getting away with it. I was like, they're really.
All right, so how many lovers is that now?
Hey, man, she needs a whole harem at this point. And honestly, go off. I'm not against it.
You said 1 per name, right?
Exactly.
I feel like Nehemia cheated, though, because Nehemia gave her a name. So I feel like if that's the case, like, I'm just going to walk up to random people and be like, I'm going to name you and then date you. Oh, my God, that's great.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, I mean, but now Selena's going by Elantia. So it's like, what's going on there?
I love how they just rolled with it. They're like, yeah, that's totally your name, even though I totally know it's not your name and I knew your mom.
Yeah, interesting.
You know, there was a piece that kind of threw me unexpectedly a little bit. It's like a half step, I would say, to surprise. Chapter 19, page 147, where it's talking about how Adian just yanked off the black ring because the ring doesn't impact him and he knew he could sense the magic. And he's like, haha, that's weird. That's what that does. And I was like, oh, that's okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Because I guess I just had forgotten that he's part Fae. Yeah. So it hadn't occurred to me. So I was just like, oh, well, that explains that. Okay.
Fair enough. What about you, Purple? Anything that really got to you?
I was just shocked and frankly appalled that we did the kissy face with the healer. And I feel like he needs to go be in the corner. I don't want him to be happy.
You just do not like him.
No, I think that he needs to suffer because he needs a very large get along t-shirt.
Not the get along t-shirt.
Okay.
He needs to get along better with everybody and he needs to just get his head out of his ass.
Okay, but hold on just a second though. Chapter 15, the very last sentence says he wanted to know so he could have added it to his personal map on the continent. That's fucking sweet as shit.
That is pretty damn adorable.
One moment of Swedish shit does not
Swedish
Swedish. Yeah, one good bite
to IKEA does not
make you Swedish. One good bite does not the whole pie make. He also was a super big hella douchebag to his bro, Carol.
Sure.
They like Broseskis, you know.
I think they're just...
I think they should fuck.
I think they're just allergic to their feelings.
Yes, and it just drives me crazy. And he's like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with anything. I'm just going to go make out with this lady that I feel bad for. Why would I ever look at my own emotions or figure out why I feel things and then, voice them in a civilized, calm manner to the people to, have an actual, real, heartfelt discussion? No, I'm just going to go make out with this lady who's like super stalker about me for years. It's going to be fine. It's going to be great.
I wonder if we're going to get a mates moment with them.
I don't know, but I hate it.
I mean, you can't deny that the attraction is there.
I think we're getting a mates moment.
She was mildly attractive and available.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
I think it's sweet.
At
least on her part.
I think it has potential. It's really young. It's in a very early stage of the relationship, so.
Well, I don't like it.
Well, okay. Fair enough.
I said I had some feelings.
Fair.
Now, complete pivot. If that is something that I have a strong feeling about. My favorite character, I also have strong feelings about.
Go on.
And it's a tie between Sky Puppy and Manonodon. I love the Sky Puppy, especially with the flowers. That just made my heart so happy. But I also love the power and the willfulness and the determination and like all of that super strong female everything that is. Just all of it that Phenomenon brings to the table. And I feel like Selena Gomez kind of got her ass handed to her in the first half of this book, which I also love. But even though Phenomenon had the time when she should have had her ass handed to her, she excelled and then made the good goods with the Sky Puppy. So hashtag favorite characters.
I would also pick Manon. First of all, Manon. Bro, I
Manon,
hate that
Manon.
shit. Maybe I don't like them just on their name alone, but that's on Sarah. But I agree. I found them to be the most interesting. Their lore, their culture, their personality, even just how they look. I really like the detail about the teeth and nails being able to retract, like the iron and whatnot, because that makes a lot more sense than. I mean, I get like the other group that does the like the yellow legs that keep it out all the time go off. But I loved the culture. I loved her fighting ability. I love the way she looked at things. Like she's kind of who I want Selena to be sometimes, in the sense of like Selena's hot-headed. She'll get backed into a corner. She'll panic. She'll do XYZ. Nothing wrong with like, you know, having anxiety. I don't want to say that in that context. But like, man, she's quick on her feet. Like the minute, like she thinks about everything to a level of detail. Like the fact that she got pushed into that wyvern pit and was going to fight for her life out of there. First of all, love it. Second of all, love the fact she had thought about not provoking a response when she got back up there. I forgot the name now, but the one that pushed her into the pit. And she just kind of blew it off. Like, oh, must have fell. Like knowing damn well that person just tried to kill them and like just minimizing it to nothing. That's who I really want Selena to be. And they're not, but that's okay because Manon is here to be that guy. So we love her.
I just I want you to know that on TikTok 2 days ago I found out what that guy means, and I'm now in the know with you youngsters.
Good. She's that guy.
Yeah.
She's
I could not agree with you more. She's my favorite character. And I think we had said last book that we were all really hoping that we would get more of the witches. And I think it's because it's so unique and it's so different. And you talk about the detail. I think the detail's really incredible. I also like the skinwalkers. I like the way that they explained how it was actual pelts stitched together. Like I was like, oh, that's so great. And it's got such a vivid image in my mind of what that looks like, what that sounds like, what that smells like.
Ugh, yeah. And
I love that, you know, and it's not that I dislike the fae part of it. I do like that. But I feel like at this point we've read a lot of fae things, so anything different and new and exciting, I think is where it's at for me. Yeah. And the teeth is just the retractable teeth, and then like she didn't call it this, but it's a nictitating membrane with the little thing that comes down so they can.
So when she flies.
That's so fucking cool, bro! Like, and the way they described her in the cabin. Listen, I really hope that they end up on the right side of history.
Well, we'll see.
I don't know. I could root for that villain.
I could. They're pretty fucking cool.
They really are.
Like, crush my soul, mommy.
Honestly.
Be the watermelon lady of my dreams.
And then let me pet the dragon, and we're good.
Yes.
And then you can kill me, honestly.
Obviously.
That sounds like a good afternoon. Sign me up, man.
My puppy pets. I'll bring a bouquet.
Ooh, nice. Of course, for the dragon, obviously.
Yeah, well, yeah.
This is funny. Is this our first time agreeing on all? Like, I think we all have the same favorite right now.
I think so. I thought that coming into this, I was gonna have strong feelings. You guys are gonna hate it.
No, we're all
I
feeling.
thought we were gonna fight over this.
I think we all probably feel the same about Least as well, from how we've been talking.
About who?
Selena.
Oh,
I mean, if you guys have something different, by all means, but it just kind of feels like the vibe so far. We're not all very happy with Selena Gomez right now. So
she is not him.
She's not, and she'll never be him.
Yeah.
Her
He's
pronouns
very
are
mid.
her pronouns are she, her, because she'll never be him.
I have to agree. I just find her so whiny and so immature and so annoying. I am having a really hard time connecting with her as a character as it is.
Mhm.
And I feel like if I was able to connect with her, that this would be a lot more of an engaging storyline section.
Yeah.
And it's just not there for me. And it was kind of that way with Feyre in honestly in Akatar.
That's true. I remember
And
Yeah.
oh god, it was like, look, okay, but like the men are nice, but like, why do I hate her so much? Because I did, and
Yeah.
I feel like the same way, but I just don't. She's just yeah, she feels very flat to me, and I just don't have patience for her bullshit.
No,
I
that's why
completely get
she's
it.
my least favorite.
If her general behavior didn't get her that spot anyway, I definitely think it's telling a man who's been dealing with potentially hundreds of years of a genocide against his people that they deserved it was you're you're on the naughty list, Selena. We don't do that here.
Yeah, that's kind of a dick move,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Yeah.
I do want to mention, though, that I also feel Healer Lady is super down there for, least favorite character.
Really?
Because her whole obsession with Prince Douchebag, there's a movie that it's reminded me of where this lady captures an author and holds him hostage and breaks his kneecaps and stuff whenever he doesn't write the book ending that she wants him to write. And it's giving very that energy for me.
Really? You know what? To me, I get not liking their dynamic with Prince Douchery or Dorian as we switch back and forth between it and them. But I don't really blame her for having a crush on him. I mean, he's a handsome, rich man. And she's like, wow, he's hot.
But it's kind of stalkery.
If anything, I'm like, ooh, Dorian's kind of gross for taking advantage of like his power
Yeah,
in
that's
that
where I was
relationship
very much
and
that,
her
yeah.
like feelings for him because of like there's no way that's an equal power relationship even ever and could never be. But I don't blame her. I kind of just think of it as, I mean, she has a crush. So it's lasted a little bit long, okay? It's been years, I guess. But hey, man, I've been there. I've had crushes for years that were unrequited, so I feel a little bit of that in her. But I think if anything, I get more creepy vibes from Dorian because I'm like, why the fuck? You could date someone at your level, but you may or may not be purposely taking advantage of someone who's a little bit more vulnerable, and by a little bit, I mean exponentially.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes to all.
Yes.
I had a question in chapter 3, page 20, the very end is Kale, and he right off the bat he's making a huge leap, and it kind of sets the tone for his story arc the rest of this way. And it's when he ends up saying enemy, lover, queen. And then he calls her your queen the rest of the time. And I was just curious if that stuck out to you guys and how, he throughout the time will remember things and he'll smile to himself. And he even takes them into her space. And he's single-handedly undermining everything that he stood for, putting himself and Dorian in the line of fire to help bring back what's supposed to be his mortal enemy's kingdom. That sentence right there, I mean, it's just one word where he goes
Right.
queen, but I feel like it's so much of like a turning point for his character because it's almost like a solidification of like, this is now me, my enemy, my lover, my queen. And it's a turn of allegiance.
I hate how nobody like asks her what she wants.
She doesn't
Everybody
even
in this
know.
entire book is just making arrangements for her, deciding, nope, you're gonna do this. You're gonna try to overthrow the king. That's just what you're gonna do. And she's just kind of like, I mean, I kind of want to fuck up his plans to save the world a little bit, but like also I hate him and he's a dick, so I want to murder him to death. And that's as far as I've gotten. But everybody else is like, okay, but like also you're going to rule and you're going to do this and you're going to marry somebody for political reasons. And she was just kind of like, whoa.
I think when Rowan was posing that, it was just a question. I don't think anybody's even there yet. I don't think anybody has even thought about the after.
Yeah, Selena barely has.
Yeah, I think it's right now, it's more just the world's going to end. We have to save it. And nobody's really thinking about what it's going to look like to put the pieces back together. But I mean, in all honesty, if she really abdicated the throne, you know who would take it, and that would be Aedion.
Is that how we're saying his name?
I don't remember already.
I just called him that guy.
I've been saying Aiden. Aedion sounds
But
better though.
But he's the prince. Like, he's an heir also.
But he won't. Does he even want it? It seems like he only wants it to be around Selena. Do you think he wouldn't abdicate to be with her?
I think he wanted to do the blood legions thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if she didn't want it, I think he loves his country enough to where he would pick up.
That's true, especially with how he's been acting. Like, I really like the insight into his character over how he's not actually killing people, how he is faking.
It runs in the family.
Yeah, he is really faking this whole, like, I am crushing the rebels, moment. And that was a fun character twist, because I didn't know where that was going to go.
I love that they just got up in the middle of the night and just walked off the battlefield. I was like, oh, iconic. So you didn't, like, try hard. You just trust people. That's fun.
Hey, there's a lot of trust back and forth between him and his people, I guess.
But I think he's been fighting the last 10 years for his people. So I think that if she truly abdicated, I think that he would pick it up. I don't think that's, yeah. But I think overall the theme that we're working with right now is you just see these multiple storylines kind of, and there will be a time when they all converge. I mean, that's how these stories work.
Of course.
But I think right now we're just kind of seeing 4 different storylines play out on the path to save the world from the evil king.
Who's a dick?
Yeah, who's the fucking
worst? Who are the guards? Do you guys have any idea about those guards?
Oh, I have no idea.
What guards?
The ones that came after the Terracin Lords that Kale didn't recognize that were wearing the seal.
I don't know. I didn't really think too much about them, I guess, as far as...
Well, we kind of just met them.
Yeah. I have a lot of unanswered questions, but not really about that, I guess, specifically. Do you have theories? Like, are you having anyone in mind or anything?
No. I have no idea.
We'll see. Sarah will bring it up, I'm sure. One thing I do like about Sarah's writing, typically there's not a lot of details that are brought to our attention and then not ever spoken about again, so...
Yeah. I was thinking that they might be the icky blood-tasting people. Well, the witches, they keep mentioning how everybody tastes gross.
Oh, yeah.
Tastes gross. They smell gross. And I mean, I'm pretty sure that it goes against just like a whole lot of Axe body spray. So I think that whatever he's doing, the Dick King, whatever he's doing to like quote unquote alter or like change his mini dicks, if you will, I think that he is giving them this weird little, frat boy club to hang on to, and that's them.
Interesting.
Did you guys catch on to one of the very subtle things dropped in chapter 8 on page 56, 57, where Maeve is described as it's Selena positioned her hands within easy reach of blades as she pushed back against the claws in her mind.
Yes. What is that called in ACOTAR? Demetri something?
It's the mind reader people. Yeah.
Well, because Feyre becomes one, but I forgot. I think it started with a D, but I don't remember.
Demonte.
It's the brain boys.
Yeah, the brain
boys.
The
Demetriosis.
Yeah, I caught that. I thought that was cool.
Demonte or whatever.
Maybe a long-lost relative?
Maeve was trying to cleave open her skull and peer inside. Pushing, testing, tasting.
Gross.
It just makes me think she was all like, let
me in.
Just with the tongue like all over the place.
And how in the hell did Selena ever learn how to shut her brain door? Because Feyre had to learn that. All of them had to learn that. And then you've got her who's just like, not today, the most powerful person in the world.
Maybe it's like an innate ability for some fairies, like depending on your bloodline, because Feyre, even though there's like some theories, right, about their family having like some type of like fairy lineage and whatnot, I mean, she did start off human, so she had a lot of catching up to do that you know, even though Selena was very young when she stopped being able to turn, like, 8 years old or whatever, but it could have been something where that is something associated with her bloodline. And then it's more of like a natural proficiency, I guess I should say. Could have been trained, though. Could have been.
I'm also very interested in seeing what is going to happen with the wyverns and the riding and the like aerial force. I think that action sequence is it's just going to be so good. And I'm very, very eager for that.
I feel you. There's a lot of plot hooks that I have unanswered questions about that I am really excited about. First of all, I don't know if you guys caught, because I love Fated Mates, okay? I love that kind of stuff, okay? We just have to get through it, okay? Page 275, which is chapter 33. I have two moments in this chapter I want to talk about. Only one related to the Fated Mates thing. Because it reminded me so much of Amren, since we've been speaking about ACOTAR. The paragraph goes, sorry to interrupt, whatever the tattoos were for, however they knew each other, she had no right to be in there. This is when Selena is walking in on the tattoo that Rowan is giving his companion. The pain in the stranger's eyes told her enough. She's seen it in her own reflection plenty. Gabriel's attention darted between her and Rowan, his nostrils flaring. He was smelling her. It just gave me the scene when Rhys and Amren and Feyre are together, and Amren smells and looks at Rhys and is like, okay.
Woman.
Yeah, because she was the first one that was like, that's your fucking mate, bro? Or like the first one, she smelled that shit and she was like,
oh.
Like that's kind of where, that's how I took that scene. Like he was smelling her because his attention is darting back in between the two of them. That's something that I picked up on because it gave me very Amren vibes, but I'm not sure. And I'm like, okay answer the question. Who's her mate? Give it to me. It's $3 in. I'm ready for love.
See, when that happened, when I read that, I went a completely different direction. I got really excited because my brain went to Den of Vipers.
Oh my god.
Your brain went to I can smell her.
Goofy.
It went 180 and then I was so very funny. Sad.
Yeah, to me I was like it was very Amren. I was like, oh my god, they know.
I just took that as because he said that the scent that she was giving off was "Don't fuck with me."
Yeah, but then why is he darting between both of them? I don't know.
As in, like, dude, why the fuck is this chick coming in your room? What the fuck is happening right now?
It's more like he's a what the? You are girlfriend?
How do I give off that smell? As a real person to regular people.
Yeah, Selena, where's your perfume recommendations? Like, how do we get that?
That's it. I need the Selena Gomez perfume.
Yeah, I have one other.
I need her and Rowan to like rage hate fuck.
They almost fucking did in one of these chapters where it's described as the way he bit her was claiming. Oh my god. I was like, sir, please.
I don't bite claimed women.
Yeah,
females.
That means.
Sorry.
Me taking lipstick and outlining right here.
This X marks the spot.
God, I would sure hate if someone helped me phase into a fae.
Oh.
But yeah, speaking about love, there's one other one that I wanted to mention, and this is such like a random like theory but also unanswered question because I'm sure it'll come back up. Same chapter, chapter 33, but this one's a couple pages before 272. This is when, however we're gonna pronounce his name, Emrys, the half of the gay demi-fae couple, he's telling the story because Selena had asked if Maeve had ever mated, and he goes on to say, you know, a warrior, rumor claimed, had stolen her heart with his clever mind and pure soul, but he had died in some long ago war and lost the ring he had intended for her, and since then, Maeve had cherished her warriors above all else. I think... Who do you think?
I was gonna say, is that the ring that, like, that would be crazy if that's the gold band that she found.
Right?
Never mind.
It would be so crazy. But also, I kind of am like, wait... In my head, I don't know why I got this idea. Maybe the clever mind and the pure soul that he had. What was the name of Elena's husband?
John.
Right, Jonathan. No, you know, the one that Dorian's related to. His sword is Demarius something. I don't remember his actual name. It starts with a G, I believe. For some reason.
Gary.
Oh my god. For some reason in my
Is it Galen?
Galen? I don't know. That sounds like something right.
Tim.
All the listeners right now who like very much know it are just sitting there like, no,
Steve,
stop. But that I don't
Bartholomew.
know why. In my head, I'm like, okay, I'm sure this will come back up later. But in my head, I feel like it's him. I feel like something about the wording of like he lost the ring he intended for her or something was something about like him switching, like changing his mind or blah blah blah. I don't know. I want to hear more about Maeve. Maeve's kind of fucked up, but also sometimes good. So I don't know how to feel about her character. But that was an unanswered question where I was like, why do I feel like I know who this might be? I mean, only time will tell though.
I did not understand why that wasn't like a family reunion.
I
Were you
didn't understand why
confused?
they were not
They didn't
like
like each
super
other.
happy.
Well-
Like I don't get why they're all like terrified or whatever.
Well, I think Selena's fear comes from the fact like her mother was like, you are never to meet this person. We're going to do everything in our power to keep you physically away from this person. So like it makes sense for her to be afraid based on childhood fears that would have been instilled in her.
What I guess I would have appreciated was a heads up, because I don't feel like we got one.
She just kind of walks right into that. Yeah.
Because she was all like, oh my God, I have to go see her. I have to go see her. And then she's like, oh my God, just kidding. Oh, this is bad. Oh my God, I'm so terrified. Everything in my body tells me to run. Bitch, you wanted to see her. You got what you wanted. Shut the fuck up and do what you got to do. And then it's like, that's your aunt. Like, where's your hug? And I'm so confused.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to been like, I have to go see Maeve, even though my mommy said it was bad forever. You know, like that would have been a nice little, maybe like 2 sentences, maybe hidden somewhere in the past 2 books.
Yeah, I respect that. I guess you could kind of write it off if you want to excuse Sarah in a way. Like, you could be like, oh, well, it's because she feels so different than her Fae identity. Like, she says things all the time that, like, separate her and make her seem more human or normal, quote-unquote normal. Like, maybe it's almost like an innate fear. Because, like, that's why she has the audacity to tell Rowan, Fae like you, or why they die sometimes. Like, first of all, what the fuck? But I almost feel like she purposely like separates herself. Like she didn't really want a phase. She didn't want to exist in that phase. So maybe even just the idea of what that meant. Like that's kind of how I looked at it in a sense. I was like, oh, it's because Selena hates this side of her that's related to this person. She hates like her bloodline. It's only caused her problems technically. I mean, I think that'll change, but that's kind of how I thought about it. But it's definitely not it would have been much better with like a heads up or like a internal monologue maybe. Some like point of view perhaps, giving us a little bit more information, Selena, but okay.
A memory, like give it something.
Yeah, something.
Right.
But they said no.
I love how everything was very, oh my God, you have to hurry, you have to do the thing, you have to do the thing. And it's like,
I'm here doing
it. Fine.
Like, oh yeah, you have to leave tomorrow because this party is the only time that you can kill them. And we're like 2 months in. I'm like, what happened to the fucking party? I'm so confused.
I will murder everyone you've ever known if you don't do the thing at this day.
She's still got plenty of time.
Fine.
She's got plenty of time.
It's probably totally okay. He probably just forgot about it.
Yeah, he's a busy guy.
He's got to be a dick to a lot of people.
Well, I know we loved a lot of this part of the book. I know we had some mixed feelings and whatnot. Do you guys, like, out of the characters that we've been introduced so far, maybe someone new to Heir of Fire or any of our existing characters, do you identify with any of them? Like, anything along those lines?
I big time identify with Abraxas. Because I also live in my own little underground world and don't ever see the outside. And when I do, it's like, oh my God, the graphics out here are amazing. And then you cannot get me to fucking do shit unless you literally push me off a cliff.
Well,
I felt that real hard.
Flowers soon then.
It depends on context.
Sure.
When I am at work, I am 1000% Rowan.
That's
like, oh my God,
drama.
will you just like understand this and get the fuck out of my face? But
you don't go making all your coworkers and people cry just cause you can.
You know, I'm gonna start from now on. That's my mission.
You don't just go around handing out sharp implements and taking them away from other people.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, probably.
Start to be a very short work day.
Like, if you don't get this shit right, I'm gonna bite you.
Oh my God.
Be the hero you want to see.
But I think as a
Call
mom,
everybody a bitch.
as a mom, I'm definitely vibing with Manon.
Manon.
Because that's where my son's like a stop and smell the roses. And I'm like, fucking get in the goddamn car. We have to go. We are late for school. Why do you not have your backpack? We don't have time to smell the roses. We got shit to do.
That's hilarious. I've been talking shit this whole time, but I feel like I identify with Selena. Not
because you just want to yell and scream and cry and call people names and agree with Hitler?
No. Not the first part of this section, but the scene where she is running from the skinwalkers with Rowan, and it's like this whole dramatic scene, and how she like comes into her power, never for herself, it really at this stage, because her self-esteem's zero, but the fact that she's willing to do so much to protect other people. Like, she was genuinely touched, even though Rowan had a responsibility to go fucking follow her ass, her fucking pouting out in the woods like, I'm gonna do this all on my own. But I really like the conversation they had afterwards about it, of like what was different, blah blah blah. Just the defeat, and Selena really emphasizing like, your opinion about me is also my opinion about me. I am worthless. I am nothing. I will not try to save myself. I'm not gonna bring you down with me. I am willing to, like, she has this crazy power burst, she kills all these skinwalkers, it's this crazy cool moment, and it's powerful, and it's so interesting, and it shows where I think Selena will get to. But I've definitely felt that way. I think that's something that we could probably all relate to, in a sense of, at one point or another, feeling worthless, feeling like we aren't worth the effort, feeling like even our lives would not be important. Like, you're not necessarily trying to harm yourself, but if a car was coming at you, you wouldn't move, type of vibe. So,
well, the Selena in you sees the kitchen boy in me.
Oh my god. Yeah,
and so. I would gladly shackle myself on the top of a frozen lake and cheer you on in my underwear, okay?
And I would save you. But I related to that. I have felt that level of self-loathing and dislike of myself. And I in that moment, I was like, that's very, very Selena and very me. But also like Manon a little bit. Just because I've been really into like spirituality and witchcraft stuff lately. So of course I'm like, oh my god, a witch. Oh my god, so am I. Like, I got my Apple Watch showing me the phases of the moon, because someone's got to keep track of it for my spells. Like, I don't know. I just think that stuff is like, even though it's completely different, you know what I mean? It has no basis of like a real world implication of any type of spirituality. Obviously, it's a fun fantasy novel, but I appreciated the witch representation. I was like, okay, queen.
Come on, Manon, get on my level.
Well, let's be honest too. You also just totally identify with Selena, because, by the way, next week I'm definitely going to call out for some relative that died, and I'm going to be grieving. Just heads up, because I'm like really upset about it. Okay, thanks, bye.
Listen, it'd be like that sometimes.
How many times has my husband killed off my mom or his mom? I don't know.
Definitely done that one before.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
Hey, man, whatever you gotta do.
Speaking of killing people, what character would you most want to lecture or kill?
I don't feel strongly enough, negatively enough to want to kill any of them. I mean, I definitely want Selena to be better. I also would probably lecture Rowan a little bit. I would say, hey man, you're depressing the fuck out of Selena, and she's already at 0, so you really need to be careful. Like, things are gonna go real bad.
He kind of reminds me of Fenris.
Sure.
From Dragon Age.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can see that. He's got a real tough exterior. It'll be worth it, I think, to get to the interior, but he's great.
I really think that the only time I really liked Browan was whenever he did his little critical thinking. The rest of it, I just wanted to tell him he was being a complete asshat and fucking lay off her.
Yeah, like Selena herself is lashing out, but Rowan is also definitely like, Selena is looking for connection and looking for something, like one ray of light to pull her out of this incredible darkness. And he's like, let me just stomp that out real quick. And it's like, Rowan, please, bro, please.
Now, there's another character, a very important, and if I'm not mistaken, previous Bay of the Day that has been noticeably absent. And
the rat?
No. And frustratingly so, because it's a choice. It's a choice to be absent. And I think of all the times It's really fucking shitty of my boy Mort to just not say shit
Fucking
when
Mort,
they're all
dude.
doing secret time. And fucking Dorian's in the hallway getting all upset about it. And then the boys all have their feelings and emotions time in the hallway. And Mort's just sitting there. You know he's watching. You know he's watching.
Getting the tea.
He ain't saying shit. They're even like, yeah, Mort didn't say anything. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Those two are meant to work together. He's literally he's a doorknob. And his name is Dorian. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't ask for
they're
much.
the same character.
Exactly. Like, you're telling me these two don't go together? I don't understand.
Get it together more.
I agree so hard.
Yeah.
I have one more thing I wanted to say about a character I most wanted to lecture about Browan. At the very end.
I'm sorry, hold on. Did you call him Browan with a B?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Like as in a bro, like bro.
Yeah, well, he was... Okay, so far, everything that I have seen of him, he cared about one thing and one thing only. His bro.
Not his bro.
That's not true. He also stays for the story time.
That's true. He likes to be a bird, and he likes
where
to
he
stay for
met
story
his
time.
bro.
Goofy.
Where they traded stories about whatever their tattoo shit is.
The soldiers of the fallen.
Yes. The
Dead
big
people's
sad.
names.
Yes, the big sad. So, Browan. Now, my point though was that Browan brought Selena Gomez into this cave for this little test, which gave me very Harry Potter vibes. Whenever he and Dumbledore went to go get the little necklace out of the thing. So I was absolutely expecting dead people to crawl up out of the water.
Fair enough.
Instead, we get a giant red eye and then scene. But he is not paying fucking attention. He's just walking around like, oh, what is this? This is shiny. Like, this is a piece of trash. Cool. What's over here? And he's like, oh, yeah. Do good. He is just not living for it. And
no.
I also feel like that's kind of very much frat boy.
He is constantly refreezing that ice over and over and over again.
Over and over, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So he's expelling a good amount of magic to make sure that's all there. And, yeah.
It also seems very hastily thrown together. Like, yeah, I know. I'll like put some ice down or some shit, and then like put the friendo in the middle of it and like chain him down. Make it all dramatic, and then be like, you gotta use your power, or else you'll like do some bad shit.
I like it as a metaphor for learning control. She's got to learn that at some point. She's way too powerful. She doesn't know how to do anything at any other level than full blast.
But I feel like with this red eyeball underneath it, maybe I got a big head and little arms, and I don't think this plan was thought through.
I was actually getting Mad Elsa vibes from Selena, like leading up to the lake.
Interesting.
And yeah, I was like, oh my God, let it go, Elsa. Let it go.
Oh my God. Well, her Elsa's right there. It's fucking Rowan. He even has white hair or silver hair, so.
Oh, he does.
It's very on brand.
I don't have many predictions. I just have one, and it's like a small one, but I feel like, and it's a real one, it's not a funny one. I feel like we are gonna see one of those sun deer dudes.
Oh, the stags?
Yeah, a sun deer.
I can see that too. Yeah. I don't know when.
Whatever. But... It's like a super duper deer of sunlight and shit. And it's warm. May or may not have a crown. Stars or some whatever. When I read it, I picked out deer, sun. It's a sun deer.
Fair enough. Isn't there one on the tapestry in Selena's old room in the castle?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen for sure then.
So I feel like since they mentioned it a couple of times, we're gonna see one somewhere, and it's gonna be like, oh my God, because the deer or whatever, sun deers, stags, whatever. They're also like her country's
symbol.
Little
mascot.
There you go. Their mascot is
Mm-hmm.
like the sun deer dude. So it was on tapestry. It's their like little mascot guy. It's in this weird little let's make you warm temple thing that may or may not have been destroyed. Maybe that has something to do with her mom. But I think we're going to actually see a sun deer dude.
That would be fun. I could see it happening in this book
cool.
with how much creatures and whatnot we're being introduced to. So I could see it
and
for
then,
sure.
Yeah. And I think she's going to be like, oh, it's a sign. I have to get good, noob.
Goofy.
What about you guys?
I think we're going to run back into that monster of the hot, creepy, hollow guy.
Yeah. What an interesting way to describe him in that first scene.
Hot, creepy,
too.
hollow guy.
That was chapter 14, I think, 107.
I should make hot, creepy, hollow guy the bay of the day just because you said that.
I mean, apparently he's unfathomably beautiful. So,
yeah.
Hey, it's a choice. They're described on page 107. I was actually going to bring that up as predictions. I thought the whole thing was interesting. Like the pale skin, night dark hair, unfathomable beauty, and an onyx strong column of a neck. And I was like, oh my god, Reese? Oh my god, Azrael? What's happening?
But they would not do that to her.
No, but like some bastardization of their spirit, I almost think.
It kind of freaked me out whenever she was talking about how she could smell something super bad and then also smelled it whenever she, like on the night that her parents got murked.
Yeah, it has to be something.
I was thinking maybe it's the thing that murked her parents.
It could be.
She said that there was a presence in the corner, is I think what she said.
It would have to like blink to move super fast, which we know as withering. Yes, to like warp places.
Yeah,
that's what they called in the ACOTAR books, right? It was withering. Am I remembering that wrong?
Winnowing. Yeah.
Winnow, wither, whatever, same thing.
Yeah, no, I got you.
the W verb.
I would say some of mine, as far as predictions, I definitely think. So page 91, what chapter is this? This is chapter 12. As soon as Manon is saying, it smelled like this two prisoners she'd seen with the Duke, I'm like, oh, okay, so Lady Caltaine and Roland are going to be in this part of the book. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Oh, that's who was in the thingy!
Yeah.
I didn't make that connection!
Oh, I didn't figure out who it was.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
The only people that'd be with the Duke had got to be Roland and Lady Caltaine for sure. So I was like, okay, cool. So they're gonna be in it because I'm kind of rooting for Lady Caltaine to do something. Like I want her to have like just female rage moment and become a better person afterwards. But I think that's gonna happen. I think I don't know if we'll get it in this book, but I do feel like the whole like scent thing and the Rowan thing, I do feel like we're gonna get a fated mates kind of vibe.
We're having a very like less interesting attempt at Cassian and Nesta right now.
Yeah.
In the mountain.
Where's my stairs? I want my stairs.
So I'm hoping that'll wrap itself up. I think she's gonna go to Doranel. And then she's gonna
get the D.
And then Queen Maeve is gonna be like, yeah, so I actually don't really know anything helpful. So surprise, it's truthful, it's just not helpful.
Yeah, fair enough. I hope we get more Maeve in general, though. I kind of, even though they're like the worst, I'm hoping for some
How
updates.
Is she the worst? I don't understand how she's the worst.
Well, reinstating the whole Fae hierarchy of half-bloods not being good enough to live in regular society?
Maybe there's a reason that we don't know. Like, it's like hella dangerous unless you're like super trained up or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know. Could be, but it'd be a stretch to me. Like,
benefit of the doubt. I don't know.
And the fact that like she didn't help, like when any other area was like, "Hey, our people are dying," and she was like, "Damn, well if they make it here, that's cool." Not my favorite thing, but I don't like the whole like blood hierarchy thing. It's not my favorite.
True that.
Yeah. So I want more Maeve, but I want to know what made her the way that she is. So that'd be a prediction. She's important. She's important enough to get some more content on, though.
Maybe the king
No.
was the one that quartered Maeve.
Please no. He would be way too old. He hasn't lived that
Well,
long.
they didn't say
Age is just
they
a
didn't say
number.
when. Just that it. Oh, don't be like that.
They said it was some long ago war, though, so it had to be
Tell
like
that-
a long time.
Tell that to Feyre and Reese.
Oh,
And
525 years older than she is.
oh god, she wasn't
moving
even 25,
right
was she?
along.
She said, "I'm
Just
21.
away
It's
from
time for a
statutory rape.
baby." Fucking Reese.
All right, are you guys ready for Bay of the Day?
I am.
Yeah, it's your turn this week. So
It
I'm excited,
is.
Purple.
And I have a serious Bay of the Day.
Interesting.
I know. It was gonna be a Sundeer because they'd be rad. And then I was thinking about it being a Braxis because the flowers, and I just love the Sky Puppy.
Right.
And then I was thinking, fine, I'll just be boring. It'll be Browan.
Really?
But no.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Real Bay of the Day. The one who takes the cake. Okay, this character has been absolutely nothing but supportive, who has been there through all of the fighting and the ragey and the screamy and all of the things, and blindly is just like, look, I know deep inside of you, this isn't who you are. You're amazing and wonderful and like low-key part of my family, and like I love you, not in that way. Bay of the Day is Luca.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He deserves it, man. He's him. He is doing the most.
He is strapped to a blanket on a sheet of ice
Yeah.
in his underwear.
He just
For
wants
Selena's
some
character
snippies.
He said, "I
Going,
need
yo,
proof
did you,
evidence."
he's just
like,
up there
you
going,
could-
yo, did you bring snacks?
You could do it. Also, did you bring snackies?
Uh-huh.
Because I'm a bit hungry, but like, good job. But like, also crackers. Like,
Well.
I'm not worried. You got this. You're amazing. I'm just a little peckish.
Honestly, yeah,
That's
he's
a
been
good
supportive
choice.
the whole time, and one of the few people to try and connect with her. Because
And
Emerus has a
continually
reason, but-
try to connect, even
Yeah.
though he hits a big brick wall face first.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? That's okay. You can have your walls. You know, I think you're cool the way you are. I'm just gonna keep being me, and I'm just gonna continually support you whether you like it or not.
Yeah, he does. He said, "Oh, so this is your fave form? Blah blah blah. This we've all been wondering what it looks like. Like he's that guy. Love it. A
I
supportive
think
king.
that he is the only one so far in this book, this entire goddamn book, that is unrelentingly supportive.
Mhm.
That's her golden retriever. It's the Fleetfoot, like,
Are you telling me
Wait.
that instead of doing the sky puppy, I did the person puppy?
Yeah.
Damn it, I can't get away from the dogs.
Listen. All right. It's awesome. There's nothing wrong
And
with
I'm a
liking
cat person,
that.
you say that,
making
Yeah,
me question
you are.
everything.
but you love my cat, who's like a golden retriever cat.
Doing the math right now, just like imagine my whole life
Shit.
been a lie.
I need to do some soul searching. I think we should wrap up this
Before you get
Confessional.
thrown into like this whole convoluted thought process here. Yeah, fair enough.
gonna question my entire existence.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and
Maybe
wrap
that's
up
why I
here.
want to see a sun deer.
Oh my god. Guide me. We want to thank you guys for listening. This has been Smutty Scriptures reading Heir of Fire. We read 1 through the end of 34. Looks like next episode, since we're doing this one in halves, well, we're going to read to the end of chapter 68. So this will be 2 episodes for Heir of Fire. Really interesting. We're getting through this one quick, which I'm looking forward to because I have been burning through this book. I want to give a shout out to our social media page now. We have a lot going on, y'all. We have a Instagram for Smutty Scriptures. We have a Twitter page for Smutty Scriptures. We've got things popping off. And there's still, if you go to I know we've done a lot of shout outs for Dual Minds Co. and whatnot. You can still get access to all of that content over on the Smutty Scriptures Instagram page especially. You'll see a ton more posts happening. We love the designs that Purple and Cuddle have been coming up with for them. There's a lot of ACOTAR themed stuff, a lot of Throne of Glass themed stuff as far as merch, and it's all super unique. And these two have been working so hard on all the social media stuff and doing the damn thing. So round of applause for the homies. But with that, yeah, church is adjourned.
Amen.
Amen.